Welcome back to Put You On. My name is Michael. I'm here with my dad.
Hey everyone, it's Mike.
And today we are listening to an album from 2010. It's the debut album of this artist. It's called Innerspeaker. Inner Speaker. It's the first album ever that Tame Impala released as a project. So we've done every single one of his albums so far. This is the only one we have not done. We did Lonerism, Current, and Slow Rush.
I would have thought for sure we did the first.
Never did the first one. Yeah.
Wow.
We started with two.
Oh,
with
okay.
Lonerism.
So we were close.
Yeah. And then we went to their third, Current, which is my favorite, and then Slow Rush, which is their most recent, which by the time this video comes out, it'll already be 4 years since their last album. And the funny thing is that I think when we did Slow Rush, I was telling you that so between Currents and Slow Rush, there was like a 5-year gap.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm never going to take that big of a break from music. Like the next album's going to come out way sooner. And it's already about to be 4 years. So hopefully at some point this year, I hope he has an album that he's working on. I'm sure he does, but there hasn't been any noise about it yet. The only thing I've heard that he's doing recently is the Dua Lipa album, which is supposed to come out pretty soon. So yeah, this is probably a less popular album of his, but still a very beloved album by fans and by me. You know, he's my favorite artist. So, so yeah, this wasn't the first album I heard of his, but it's the first released. So we're going back a little bit.
Yeah.
2010. So yeah, I'm curious to see how you'll take this because it's definitely a little bit different than some of the other ones we've heard. But I love it a lot. The first track is called It Is Not Meant to Be. Vocals are still very recognizable, right?
Very.
And drums.
It was cool. It heavy cymbal play in the very first minute or so. Like it sounded almost like it was, just a din throughout the first minute or so, and then it cut out. His vocals and the way he was singing just remind me so much of John Lennon on Sgt. Pepper. That's when they really went full out with experimentation of their sound and different things, but it definitely has a more modern sound with the electric guitar and the synth. The drums are great throughout. It sounded in the beginning, I guess the warm up felt like before he started singing it, I kind of felt like it was like something you might hear from a a band that opens for another band. You know, it's like brand new music. So to me, it's all brand new.
Right.
But the pace of it was very, you know, it sounds like they're warming up. Like he's warming up before he gets into the vocals.
Yeah.
Then when he gets into the vocals, it's like they got the groove going and
everything starts to click a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning, the cymbals are
crashing
and
they
reverbing.
really just.
But then with the chorus,
and the bass comes in.
Yeah, I mean, instrumentally, it's always so enjoyable to listen to an album of his.
Wasn't too I mean, I've heard more psychedelic than that. Not very trippy.
Yeah,
more, I would say. You know, I can definitely hear the Beatles' influence, or at least John Lennon's influence on him.
Yeah, it's a good intro track. Track 2 is Desire Be, Desire Go.
Distortion.
Yeah. Probably the most rock you've heard from him, right? Up until what we've heard.
Yeah, and it's still. I'll comment on it.
Still has his.
It's still
Kevin Parkerisms.
Yeah, it still feels measured. Like great riff there.
Yeah. So heavy.
Yeah, the guitar there is just blaring. You know. How
can you not get hooked on that?
Yeah, and still he's got it though. Like most rock that I'm used to, if it gets into that, like it really gets you going, kind of gets your blood going.
Yeah.
He has a very unique way to me of still combining that
like the
it's almost like mellow, and then he goes dun dun dun.
Yeah.
He keeps it real dreamy as opposed to aggressive.
Well, his vocals just change everything. Like his vocals over that instrumental
100%
makes the whole song. Like if that was like a different vocalist over that,
or something where the lyrics are aggressive. Like, I don't know what this
which
is
it
about.
so could have been over that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Track 3 is called Alter Ego.
He's
Australian.
Oh, I was gonna say not American.
Yeah.
See, the drum is always prominent.
Now
the driving force of most of the song.
Yeah.
Whether he keeps it going like that or then stops and sprays the cymbals. That's a signature sound too. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Yeah.
like that sound in song. The little shake. Was it like a shaker? Like that. That.
The rattle. Yeah. Has the pace of like Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
The opening. It's got that much speed to it.
Yeah, I think this album, more than any that came after this, is you could hear his influences more than any of the other ones. Like instrumentally,
yeah,
like you can tell where he has pulled inspiration from.
The pace of that drum was like, reminded me so much of da-dun, da-da-dun, da-dun, da-da-dun. Like it just kept chugging along. But as aggressive as like Zeppelin made their sound is as
soft
yeah. as he makes his. And it's a real adjustment for my brain to hear that pace of the drum beat and then still hear him
singing,
crooning,
harmonizing,
which almost sounds like Broadway play type of singing, where the words don't necessarily fit the music completely, but that's intentional, or like an opera, where you're hearing music and the words are just, you're forming sentences and you could be saying anything over that little rhyme. But it's really unique,
it's fascinating,
very unique.
Track 4 is called Lucidity.
I know where you went, but I don't know how you got there. Silvertongue Hill, where you talk of what I played down. I would speak up, but I wouldn't know what to say.
This is what I was talking about, like just this whole dialogue of no real harmony or anything, just him saying what he wants to say while the whole rock song is going on behind him.
The riffs are so good in this album, though. Song's badass.
So much.
It's like being put in a rock blender.
Yes, that's a great description.
Just fucking getting thrashed around.
I mean, I heard so many. I heard like Crosby, Stills and Nash. I heard, a little bit there of John Lennon. But the drum, I mean, whoever the drummer is,
it's him.
Oh, I thought.
It's him. He does all the instrumentation.
So who's the band? I thought you said the band. He has.
Oh,
band.
Come on. We've gone.
No, I know, but didn't you tell me there's a band on?
Yeah,
stage?
when he performs live, he has a band because he can't play every instrument at the same time.
Shit, man!
But when he records, this is all him.
I mean,
this is Kevin. He records the drums, guitar, bass.
Yeah, I mean, what an exhausting. That's an exhausting piece right there.
Yeah, every fill in that song is like. It's like fluttering around before it goes back to the groove. Every single one. It's crazy. And then the guitar is just distorted, fuzzed out, and he's just shredding. Track 5 is called Why Won't You Make Up Your Mind? This was sampled by a rapper, actually, this song, which is really fascinating. A$AP Rocky. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, with the dollar sign.
Yeah. So he ended up sampling this song for a song called Sundress that became super popular, which a lot of people don't know that this is the original instrumental, but it's basically this instrumental that he rapped over.
Wow. Just the fact that he's in the conversation for a rapper to...
Yeah. And you know, he did the work with like Travis Scott and stuff on Astroworld. And now he's making a pop album with Dua Lipa. It's crazy.
It's like a drum lesson.
Yeah. Phil. All these fills here are crazy. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, that was showcasing, that song to me showcased his drum skills.
Yeah.
The
With
guitar
the
was...
wailing.
Yeah, the guitar was good too. Maybe it was the choice of the lyrics. Maybe it was a little too floaty, heavenly for me. Like I feel like that one needed a little bit more grit, but it's what he does. So, just in terms of preference, that one was a little, the make up your mind stuff.
Yeah, that's one of my
I
favorite
can't
songs.
imagine that being sampled for a rap though.
I'll show you. That's one of my favorite Tame Impala songs.
Same as that. I feel it. I know it's there. And, there's my soul is waiting for something like that, like to pull me in completely. That's just, what I prefer.
Yeah. Track, what are we on? 6 is called Solitude Is Bliss. Very low here compared to
Crisper though.
yeah.
The guitar and his voice are sharp. There's no fuzz yet. Oh, there he goes. Fades out.
It's a great line. One of my favorites.
Back to the sinister bass. Yeah.
And then look, you think it's gonna go back to that, then it switches again.
Yeah. I can't describe it, and I don't know why certain songs hit differently. Hits different. Remember from last night?
Yeah.
It just does. That one hit
That's one of my favorites.
That one hit me right. That was like,
Ding, 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 ding. The pacing is,
yeah.
and his voice is very.
And the lyrics match. The lyrics were good for that
Yeah.
pace. You know, you could tell it's like he's trying to describe. You know, obviously you can't know how I feel.
There's a party in my head and no one else is.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good line. That was a good line.
And his like echoey vocals only come in on the chorus.
Yeah, right when I said
Yeah.
it wasn't there.
But all
then
the
it
verses
comes in.
have his.
Yeah, they're very crisp. Yeah.
I mean, just a wicked.
I like how he doesn't, you know, remember I said like sometimes an artist will find, you know, if you find something in a song and it works, you just repeat it. You know, you work it, you work it, you work it. He doesn't do that. It's like you feel like, ooh, that's nice, and then it's just like he's giving you a little taste of it. Just
Yeah. And so many instrumental.
Have you tried the cream part of the cake? What about the cherry?
7 is Jeremy's Storm.
Poor Jeremy. He's had a rough go of it in songs.
I like that, how the second channel comes in.
I mean, he's just a genius at the mixing.
Yeah. That too, that's a very challenging task in itself. To not have it sound like shit after you put everything together.
There's the storm feeling. It sounds like wind.
The wind, yeah. That one riff that he builds off of the whole track. It sounds like a guitar playing in a tornado.
It's a flat out jam session, this one. Quite the crescendo there at the end. Wow. Yeah, that was epic guitar solo, drum solo. I've heard a few songs like that. Johnny Winter's Frankenstein, it comes to mind, where they just, you know, it's like dun 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 dun, and that's the one riff through the whole thing.
Right.
But in between, there's breaks,
Right.
and I go. That's what this reminded me of, like a jam session where he found that riff, but the ringing, it almost sounded like the rain going back and forth too.
Wind, rain, whipping.
The wind was definitely obvious.
Yeah, it sounds like apocalyptic rock. Like
Yeah,
the world's ending,
and it,
everyone's
you know,
jamming.
yeah, and it still has when the guitar goes ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Tommy the rock opera because you know that's when the Who were trying to, like, you know, they would smash the drum, like Keith Moon would just, you know, destroy the fucking drum kit, and you know, the louder and noisier the better. But they still tried to do stuff with the guitar, and that's what that feels like a lot It feels like it could be a rock opera. Like you know, in his mind, he's got this idea of what he's trying to give everyone. But for a debut album to be this eclectic, I mean, I'm
Fascinating.
Yeah, I am. I'm amazed how well he took off from here. Even
Yeah. Track 8 is called Expectation.
I wonder how many guitars he owns.
Probably a lot. Probably multiple drum kits too.
Yeah.
Now it's over.
It's over. It was a bit long.
Yeah, it's a bit long, and it's not my favorite. Not my favorite.
It's
either.
a bit of
It's not
a
just you.
it's a bit of a drag on the singing.
The vocals are super overblown and like
super stretched out.
Yeah.
And maybe.
And the reverb the reverb kind of washes over all the whole track. Like it's echoing over it. It's kind of hard to catch the groove.
I tried to find something. I mean, but the last piece there after the break, I mean, there can be no doubt how great he is at
production.
At playing instruments.
Yeah, the production's never going to be lackluster. The vocals are just a little distracting in that song.
They were.
It's just kind of.
But then again, I don't think he could have had two Jeremy Storm and
two instrumental tracks.
Yeah, although it could have.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Track 9 is The Bold Arrow of Time.
Nothing in particular, no storyline, just
a concept.
Yeah.
Or an idea. so many tempo switches.
I mean, I'm hearing Eric Clapton. Yeah, right. Play that last.
The last bit.
Yeah, right. When he was with Cream.
Oh yeah, Smoke on the Water. That sounds like. Isn't that Deep Purple?
No, when he was with Cream, he sang
Smoke.
"Sunshine of My Life."
Oh, Sunshine of My
Yeah.
Life, right?
It's getting it on. Dun, 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 dun.
Sunshine of
My life.
Listen,
Dun, 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 dun,
I had my guitar days. I know all the.
dun, 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 dun. I mean, that could come. I mean, that's why a lot of this feels very 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the electric guitar took off, right?
Yeah.
And he's right there with like the, you know, influenced by the founding fathers, if you will.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
In
That's what I'm saying, like-
terms of like not doing it like the blues, but branching out into what the blues was based on.
Yeah.
But boy, that was White Stripes. That was Eric Clapton. That was Robert Plant on lyric. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like his influences are so evident early on, like in this first album. This is Runway, Houses, City, Clouds, track 10. It's just a fantastic instrumental display, musical display.
no vocals.
No, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Drums are like thunder rolling in. While I'm listening, I'm gonna look something up real quick
Yeah.
of
What you're thinking of?
what I'm thinking.
This is the track to me that feels like he's starting to find the mix of these vocals and
I almost felt like for a moment there I felt like maybe I'd heard this in the car, but I don't think you ever played this.
probably not.
But it sounds more like what carried on into
Right.
the next one.
Yeah.
Yes. it's almost like, I mean, just the fact that, in the modern times now that you can have a 7-minute song, which, was unheard of a long time ago. But he's like a rebirth of something that the Allman Brothers, they would jam, right? Or the Doobie Brothers, the Allman Brothers, they would have these long jam sessions when they were in concert. And their studio versions were, think of, and Lynyrd Skynyrd, Freebird, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It reminds me so much of that. And then he's bringing it to the modern time, but you can still hear I think what you said before was like a blender of so much that I know, and he's triggering all these different receptors in my brain. Like, I mean, that whole end could be like,
gorgeous.
The middle part of a Lynyrd Skynyrd song or an Allman Brothers, where, the Southern rock, where they just go on, and you don't appreciate it until...
Or even like Pink Floyd, all those epic 10-minute, 12-minute...
sound experiences, right?
Guitar jams.
But when he was singing...
Oh, is this what you were looking?
I mean, he really reminded me that this is a song by John Lennon called "Jealous Guy." He wrote it for Yoko when she caught him in bed with somebody else. But just
fuck Yoko.
Yeah. But just you can hear. I hear so much of when he was singing. Listen to this little piece.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the part that really hit me, that I think he has it in here. But if you can go back to like I think after the first...
Yeah, I remember you said specifically on when we did the second album, when Sun's Coming Up.
Oh.
Where he's singing for his dad. You said that was like straight up John Lennon. We're on the final track. It's called I Don't Really Mind.
Shifting a lot, like it makes so much difference to me. Puffing, marching around like I know how much better it should be. I know it looks like a disagree 9/10 of the time, but I don't really mind. But I don't really mind.
I like how the guitar comes in like late. It's on the last word.
Really mind. But I don't really mind. Really mind. But I don't really mind.
Yeah, if he is underrated, it's a shame as a drummer. But I've liked every drum piece he's done.
It's fantastic. There's some of the harmonies too that he continued to work on as the album.
Yeah,
went on.
this shows his harmony and his, like, instead of. But you also said he didn't think he was a very good singer.
No,
right? I mean,
that kind of
crazy.
That's kind of probably a big point on why the first album is so instrumental heavy, because even the second album, his vocals are mixed much lower.
Right.
And it wasn't until Currents came around that he started to believe that
Actually sing.
he could, put his vocals in the forefront a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which it's just
that's
crazy.
about as close as you've gotten to singing.
Yeah,
that
like
track
with like a
on
hook
this whole
and
album.
harmonies.
Yeah.
The other ones are kind of faded a little bit.
Yeah.
In the background.
Or does his stretching
reverbed.
out. Yeah, that was about as close to like a hit that I would say.
But it's nice that this showcases like his roots, his guitar playing, his bass playing, his drum playing, his composition of the music.
Innerspeaker. Interesting.
Yeah. It's a cool title and a cool cover.
Very.
it's like the same image just layered over and over. And over.
Like the Runway city.
Yeah.
Like you're heading off down that
I mean,
strip.
you could see throwing this album on under the influence of something.
Oh, I was gonna say, man.
Like,
I mean,
the sounds
I
are...
missed the edible. I mean, I don't miss the edible. I didn't know what the edible days were, but man, it's
like the experience of
being wasted
and then listening to something like this.
Oh
is like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's made for it.
Yeah, this is like total.
Yeah,
it's not like, you know, like you could listen to it not like that and appreciate all the instrumentation.
Yeah, but once you go,
you could tell
there,
being like zooted and just hear.
Yeah,
this.
and I wonder like how, you know, is it for that to come out of? I mean, I don't know if he, you know, imbibes or
yeah.
Oh, does he? Oh,
yeah.
okay. So because I was gonna say if that just comes from a natural mind.
No. He's a big like psychedelic Molly
experiment guy,
edible guy.
Okay,
yeah.
well, it shows.
Which it works. it works.
It definitely shows.
So yeah, that was his first album.
Yeah, pretty. I mean, just versatile. You gave out some great descriptions. Versatile. The music is very blend of, you know, a blender of all kinds of rock. I mean, you know, I heard everything. You know, Cream, Eric Clapton. You know, like I said, the long version was Lynyrd Skynyrd, Allman Brothers, Jack White. I mean, it's just
the influences are.
It's incredible.
But think like within 5 years, right? He went from this album,
right,
to Lonerism, second album, to this with
massive hit.
Within 5 years, he went from that sound to this, and from that to that is crazy in a 5-year span. Like,
sounds like
wild.
High school band. Well, I'm sure the money helped.
Oh yeah,
right. I mean, he's probably. When we say studio, wasn't there one album picture where he's like sitting in a?
It's Lonerism, where he's laying on the ground and he has like all the synths and everything surrounding him. But like to go from that to this,
mean, everything you can hear is just like it's like going from 4K, moving up to 4K.
Yeah. And the vocal, like his vocals became more prominent. The instrumentation was more structured,
tight.
It's nice to be able to hear like the jump, the leaps in like sound, and just the fact, like you said, that he didn't just stick to
no,
I mean, psychedelic or reverbed, you know, rock. Like he's like, okay, let me see what I can incorporate, and
it's so night and day.
It's fascinating. I mean, his.
But that's a great journey that we always talk about for an artist, like for you to have been a fan from the very beginning, and then to get excited for each release. I mean, you must be chomping at the bit now for Dua Lipa. You know,
I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah,
but thought we'd switch it up. We done so much rap and
it was good
and pop. So it's good to take a a mood change, a genre change.
Yeah, good sound.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Subscribe
if you're not subscribed. And put the graph again. Look at the graph. Make it better. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week with a new album and a new video. Peace.